You've booked your dream cruise at an amazing price, but by the end of the trip, your wallet feels like it went overboard. Sound familiar? Well, I'm going to reveal the hidden costs of cruising that catch most travelers off guard and discuss how you can avoid them to stay on budget. Ahoy, travelers! It's Amy here to help you make your travel experience a success. Now, cruises may be considered all-inclusive vacations, but there are additional costs that cruisers should be prepared for and others that they may want to avoid. Now, we're going to cover everything from gratuities and drink packages to excursions and internet fees. And I'll share simple tips to keep your costs in check. Cruises are all-inclusive vacations, right? You get a place to sleep, food to eat, and even entertainment while traveling from port to port, all for the cost of your cruise. But is that really all-inclusive? I guess it depends on what you are wanting out of your cruise. If all you want are the basics, you might agree that cruises are all-inclusive, but the average cruiser spends the cost of their cruise all over again in extras. Plus, there are some costs that are part of your cruise that are not included in that base cost of most cruises. So the first thing new cruisers need to know is that the cost you see advertised by cruise lines is not going to be how much the cruise costs you in the end. So lines will offer a 4-day cruise and they'll advertise it for less than $300. But only the most naive of cruisers would believe that they're going to get that cruise for less than $300. First off, that price is for an interior room for one person, and it's an interior room that the line chooses for you. It costs you extra if you're wanting to choose where on the ship your room is. Make sure you're not underneath the Lido deck or underneath a club. Second, it may not include taxes and port fees. Third, that advertised price probably only available for specific dates, and those dates might not be ones that work for you. So one of the first costs that cruisers need to take into consideration is taxes and port fees. These are non-negotiable. You don't get to not pay them. A newer California law that has come out means that cruise lines will now have to integrate these fees into the advertised price. Since it's unlikely that cruise lines are going to change those advertised prices that they show on their website based on the location of the person accessing the information and what state they're from, this means that everyone should see a benefit from this California law, and the cost that we see advertised is actually the cost of the cruise, and these taxes and port fees are included in that cost. They did used to be. I've already noticed the change, but it is still something that you should be aware of and keep an eye out for. Now, gratuities are one of the most controversial topics when it comes to cruising, and in our tip-obsessed culture here in the US, it's not getting solved anytime soon. Most cruise lines include automatic gratuities that add up to $15 to $20 per person a day. Now, these are usually American-based cruise lines, and those prices sometimes fluctuate depending upon what kind of stateroom you choose. These are going to be automatically added to your cruise fare. Now, we choose to prepay our gratuities so they aren't added to our stateroom charges later while on the cruise. This way, we just see them as part of our cruise and how much it costs. We don't worry about it and whether or not we should pay it or not. It's already added in. It's already been paid. There's a lot of discussion around whether cruisers should pay these automatic gratuities or bring cash to hand out to crew members directly, or do both. Now, I have a video on whether or not you should pay your gratuities that I will link in the description below. It'll go over some of the ins and outs of this and get a little bit more in depth. Most cruisers do choose to go above and beyond the automatic gratuities, pay them, as well as tip like their cabin steward and tip for any room service. That's what we do. However, whether or not to add a tip when you purchase a drink is a whole other discussion. While water, juice, tea, and coffee can be found for free or included, depends on how you like to say that, on almost all cruise lines, if you want a soda or a cocktail, that's going to be an extra expense. Cruisers will need to decide if they want to save money and stick with the included beverages or splurge on something special. So if you're wanting to drink specialty coffees, I like to have iced coffee in the morning, or maybe you like to have a few cocktails throughout the day, you're going to need to decide if a drink package is worth it for you. So for some cruisers, paying for a drink package saves them money. But for others, they're not going to drink enough to get their money's worth. Now I'm going to link my video on if drink packages are worth it in the description below. While most cruises offer a variety of complimentary dining options such as main dining rooms and buffets, some ships even offer quick eats options. Many ships also feature specialty dining restaurants. These are becoming hugely popular amongst cruise lines because they make the cruise lines a lot of money. These venues, which might serve things like steak, sushi, or gourmet Italian, charge an additional fee per person or per dish. Now, while the food is usually excellent, these costs can add up quickly if you're not careful. Some of these can cost $100 per person per meal. So before booking a specialty dining experience, consider whether the included options are going to satisfy your cravings. For budget-conscious travelers, trying some of these specialty dining venues at lunch instead of dinner can be a savvy way to enjoy the experience at a lower cost. A lot of these places will offer a more limited menu at lunch for half the cost. Many cruisers want to stay connected nowadays, and doing so while at sea can be shockingly expensive. Cruise lines typically offer Wi-Fi packages that range from $10 to $30 per day, per person, sometimes even per device. And these costs depend on the speed or coverage that you need. So if you need a lot of coverage, you want to stream things, you're paying a lot of money a day. However, the connections can still be slow and unreliable. It's getting better now that many cruise lines have switched over to Starlink, but it just kind of depends, and it depends on where you are, where your ship is located. So to avoid these costs, download everything you need, like movies, ebooks, maps, before you leave home. If you have to stay connected, look for portside cafes or terminals with free or low-cost Wi-Fi. And remember, a digital detox might be just what you need to truly relax and enjoy your vacation. So unless you just have to be connected for work, maybe a cruise vacation is a great time to just unplug. Cruise organized excursions often come with hefty price tags, even for simple tours. These prearranged outings are convenient and guarantee you're going to return to the ship on time, or the ship will wait for you. But they aren't always the most cost-effective options. Local tour operators at the port often offer similar experiences at lower prices, and there's even some very well-established websites that offer excursions, and they work with these tour operators that are local. You can even plan your own activities with a bit of research. Many ports have beautiful beaches, historic sites, or even vibrant markets within walking distance. Just be sure to manage your time carefully if you're exploring independently. Missing the ship's departure can lead to expensive consequences. Now, I have a video on shore excursions that will give you tips on where to book them without breaking the bank, and I'm going to leave that linked below. Cruise ships are packed with activities, but not all of them are free. While you can enjoy trivia, live music, and poolside movies at no extra charge, options like spa treatments, fitness classes, and some specialty workshops come with a fee. Onboard shopping can also drain your wallet, with duty-free stores selling luxury items and souvenirs at premium prices. So to save money, focus on the wide range of complimentary entertainment available and resist those impulse buys. If you're eyeing souvenirs, wait until a sale is announced or until the last day of the cruise. Many shops will run clearance sales before the ship docks for that final time. I made the mistake on our last cruise of getting a souvenir t-shirt the first day the shops were open. I really wanted to make sure I got one. Then they ran a sale later in the cruise where everything was discounted pretty significantly. Lesson learned. From gratuities to shore excursions, cruising can have quite a few hidden costs, but with a little planning, you can avoid most of them. Let me know in the comments what hidden costs surprised you on your last cruise. Well, are you ready for more information on cruising? Why not stick around and check out this video and then come back for more information designed to help you have an amazing cruise. Have a blessed week, everyone.